Proven. To keep making the same mistakes is to repeatedly perform actions that lead to negative consequences or undesirable outcomes without learning from past experiences. The phenomenon occurs due to psychological factors like ingrained habits and bias. Is a failure to develop new neural pathways, sometimes stemming from underlying beliefs or an unwillingness to change. Ladies and gentlemen, Unai Emery. And I want to shout out Super Matty Taylor, one of the loyal subscribers on the channel, who sent me that today and couldn't be more poignant. Couldn't be more poignant with that point that he has just made about Unai Emery. The t-shirt, as Michael has spotted, is also poignant for the stream. I'm moody. I'm moody about Aston Villa. I'm not moody about life. And I want to say big up to everyone who is watching. I'm currently in an empty room. This is the last stream that I will ever be doing in this house. As of tomorrow, I will be moving. I will not be here. I will not be living in this house. So life is good, but Aston Villa I'm moody about. We are going to be running up a crunch talk. We are going to be running up my thoughts, my feelings, the key points on Unai Emery. People, I have seen one of the biggest colossus changes in the mindset of Aston Villa fans over the last 48 hours. I have been desperate to be able to give you this stream. I wanted to do it Sunday. Couldn't do it. And actually, I had the joy of meeting another subscriber on the channel yesterday. Big up to James Meakin. Big up to Meeks. Got to meet him and his son. Took my family to meet him. We actually ended up having a nice Indian out. And it was great to meet a fellow subscriber. So tonight, before I went away, I thought it has to happen. We have to have this crunch talk. And I've come up with a saying. A lot of people have always said, in Unai we trust. In Unai we trust. Well, let's change the narrative now. Is it potentially in Unai we rust? Are these performances becoming rusty, pathetic, slow, stagnated, predictable, unimaginable? That's where I believe we're at. That's where I believe Aston Villa are at under Unai Emery. And what I want to say is this, and big up to everyone in the comments, I will come to your thoughts, your feelings. I am getting sick and tired as well of seeing the blame on PSR. Oh, but if we didn't have PSR, we could do this. If we didn't have PSR, we could do that. Oh, the players look like they've been badly affected by PSR. Well, grown-ass men. Are you trying to tell me that the Jacob Ramsey departure has absolutely kerfuddled our players, that it's producing those type of performances? Give over. They're grown-ass men. PSR is not impacting what we are seeing on the pitch right now in terms of shape, tactics, starting lineup, and for me, intensity. This is a massive point in Unai Emery's career at Aston Villa. He is going to know that the fan base, for the first time, by the way, I've never seen more people feel in that direction of Unai, we're a little bit worried. I've never seen so many people so change in the last couple of weeks because of what they are concerned about. And if you're someone who's gone, look, yeah, I'm one of them, then fair play. You're owning it. You're saying, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. When I say time for change, I'm adamant that things need to change on the pitch. I'm adamant that the tactics, the build-up play, the possession style, the starting balance of our team needs to change. And that comes on the manager. That is down to the manager. Now, the other thing I am a little bit tired of, and again, these are my thoughts, my feelings, you may completely disagree or agree, is that keep getting people saying, well, we wouldn't be in this position without Unai. Without Unai, we wouldn't have had some of the greatest seasons of our life and got into Europe. Correct. But I'm not living 2 years ago over those glories. I'm living in the now of Aston Villa Football Club. And right now, worrying. Appreciate all the comments, as I said, coming in the live chat. I've got them all noted. I will be addressing them, and you will have your voice heard 100%. And people, make sure you are smashing the like button if you haven't already as well. So my next phase of point is this. This isn't just 2 seasons. I think Johnny put it, 18 months. If you want to be really uber critical, and if you want to break down Aston Villa's season in a nutshell, last year, and again, we're not living in the last year, but I'm living in the Unai Emery type of era performance. Number one, before Christmas, August to Christmas, you could argue John Duran bailed Aston Villa out of sticky situations. You could actually argue that John Duran was the man who bailed us out in these horrible moments. Number two, Marco Asensio and Rashford then saved our asses for a couple of months by coming in and giving us a bit of star quality, a little bit of finesse, and that magic worked for a short period of time. Guess what? Rashford gets injured, Asensio goes off the boil, and Villa end the season poorly. That is a really cynical, but I think fair approach, because I've gone back and looked at the fixtures. If you look at where some of John Duran's goals have come and saved our asses, it could have been an embarrassment for Villa in some fixtures. But it could, that's a bit deep to go just on John Duran. But really look at it. Really look at what John Duran did. Really look at how he saved Villa from some either really poor draws. Wow, that's what he's paid to do. Correct. But a moment of magic, the Gerrard days, a moment of brilliance. Villa's style of play brightened up for me when Rashford and Asensio came to the club. There was a little bit of rejuvenation. I thought, come on then, Unai, you got your claws here now. You've got 2 great ballers. We've got 2 great ballers who can elevate us. Rashford, a ball runner, direct. Asensio can see between the lines. I thought, go on, take it by the scruff of the neck. We did, but then it fell off when Rashford got injured. And again, we ended the season like we were stumbling over the line. We grinded out with some results. You say good team's done that. My other observation and point that I made about last season was we came in a league where Chelsea was similar to us. They were hit and miss. Chelsea, they couldn't quite get a few runs going. Stumbling here, stumbling there. Newcastle started choking at a stage. Forest were choking. And everyone was sort of doing their best to balls up top 4. Everyone was doing their best to balls up top 4 last season. And Villa kept managing to plod away. But that can't be a consistent thing. And we all know that Villa, how many times have we said Villa are inconsistent in 2 halves of football? The first half is usually crap. Can't remember, a good electric first half. Second half, mixed bag. Sometimes we pull it out. Sometimes it's the same. Sometimes we have a good 10, 15 minutes, then we fall flat. So these sort of things, for me, when we talked about last season, inconsistent halves, it's happening again already this season. That's on the manager. That's on Unai Emery. I don't want to hear anything like that. Is on Unai Emery. You cannot have this same pattern emerging over a season and a bit now of 1 half good, 1 half poor, 1 half good, 1 half average. It can't happen. It's not consistent. So I think it's a major concern. And a lot of fans, people call us Aston Vanilla. I had this weird thing about pre-season. Weirdly, my favourite pre-season game was Marseille because it went absolutely nuts. And I thought, oh, yes, this is class. This is Villa. I can't wait for the Premier League to be back. I think that Marseille game blindsided me. I think that game blindsided me. I don't know about anyone else, but I found the American tour boring. I found the style of play, Eintracht Frankfurt, Nashville, St. Louis, boring. Roma, we did a pretty good job on them. I'm not gonna lie, that was a progression of what we saw in America. And then the Villarreal game sort of took the same pattern. Aston Vanilla, possession with no purpose. All these passing lanes to do what? Oh, but the end product will come. Oh, the goals will come eventually. It will click. How many times have we been saying for 18 months? We just need to thrash the team. We just need to put 3 or 4 past the team. And we've been waiting and waiting. But my biggest concern was that Unai Emery quote. And this is the last thing that I'm going to come to it. My biggest concern was that Unai Emery quote. And it absolutely flabbergasted me. This is where I thought, shit me, we've got a problem here. I actually thought we got a huge issue here. Sorry, I should have that. This. Big up to the chat, by the way. Thank you for your comments. I can't wait to read them all. This is an issue. You can't argue against it. This is an issue. This is a fundamental issue right now at Aston Villa Football Club. Let's read it. Let's take it in. This came from the manager's mouth himself. This is not clickbait journos, or this is not someone making up lies about Unai. This is Unai Emery from the horse's mouth. To lose here is hard for us. In my expectation, if we weren't performing, being clinical, or getting corners, crosses, chance, we could lose. The message before was to keep a clean sheet, then to win the match. I mean, this quote in itself has sent my head west, and it translates onto the pitch. That's not acceptable. Going away to Brentford and saying, I'm looking to keep a clean sheet, and if we get a clean sheet, we'll get a draw. And if we're not playing well, so as he said, if we weren't performing, being clinical, getting corners, crosses, chances, we could lose. So he's basically saying everything attackers should do, everything a team should do going forward, right? Being clinical, corners, crosses, chance. If we don't do that, we're going to lose the game. So I am asking my team to keep a clean sheet. Guys, react to that quote right there, because I think for me, that is one of the worst things I could see from my manager right now in the situation. He's basically told the fan base, he's basically telling the fan base, I'm sorry, but my first priority is to keep a clean sheet and defend. If we get a draw, happy days. If we get a lucky cross, a throw in, a set piece, then guess what? We go 1-0. That was worrying. That's where I've sort of turned my attention to and said, we've got a problem here. I'm not accepting that from Aston Villa Football Club. The team that is meant to be so close to getting and breaking into the top 6 consistently. And we've got our manager now saying, clean sheet first and try and nick it. Do you know what it sounds like to me? I'll be completely real. Stoke City FC. Corners, throw-ins, crosses. He even mentions it. He even goes, getting corners, crosses, chance. May as well add throw-ins there as well. May as well add throw-ins there as well. That mindset in itself is crap. With John McGinn and Tyrone Mings chops in about PSR. Boys, you need to worry about what you're doing on the pitch first. I don't like the noise that's coming out of the club. Don't like the moaning. You could say, "Oh, that's all right. You're moaning now." Don't like what's coming out of my manager's mouth, my captain's mouth, the mindset, the mentality. I don't know where goals are coming from in this team. I really don't know where goals are coming from in this team of Morgan and Olioff. And then this one here, have a look at this one. Don't know if you guys have seen this in chat, but I'm going to shout you out in a second. Don't know if you guys have seen this one. Our start midfield yesterday, excluding Rodgers, had scored 8 goals and provided 11 assists since the start of last season. McGinn has 1 goal and 4 assists, despite being played mostly as a right winger and right attacker mid. The lack of productivity from midfield is a big issue. Eight goals and 11 assists between Yuri Tillemans, Kamara, Anana, McGinn. Wow. Issues. Where's the goals coming from? Big up to Michael in the house. Brainy's been here. Johnny's in the house. Says, Unai out for me. He's took his Villa as far as he can. Been 18 months of shit for bring Glasgow elsewhere. Struggled to make top 4. The main question is this a blip or permanent decline in the Emery era? That's exactly that. First 2 games are telling me only one direction this is going. I think this Palace game is going to be fascinating. Will he go free at the back? Do you know what I mean? Will he try and match them up? Will he get over his Palace voodoo? Will he find a way to do something that he hasn't done? I'm fascinated. I do as well, Duncan. Unai needs to sort some things out, and we cannot solely blame PSR. Correct. You wrote it here, Michael. But changing management is not the solution. Correct. Big up to PC. Lockdown in the house. Boring, slow, possession-based football. No purpose. We've hit a wall. Can't expect top results when for 2 years all our signs don't make the starting 11. Watching Ramsey and Tuchel, it hurts, man. I'm sure Unai didn't know how to use him. Felt like that, didn't it? PC said, typical Villa fan, fickleness. Here comes the toxicity, and they drove me away from this club a few years ago. I think look, things have been so good and happy right now for Villa, but in the last couple of years, but I don't think anyone can sit there and say they've been happy with the first 2 games. And I don't think anyone can sit here with chest and say it's going to change. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone to tell me, hey, this is a blip. It's going to be okay. Things are going to change. I've seen a few content creators try and do that. I've seen a few comments say, hey, it's going to be all right. I'm not seeing it personally. I'm really not. Guys, make sure you are running up the like button for me as well. This is a good point. We've got no identity at the moment, a bit like Gerrard days. Exactly. Jackson going to Bayern and Kevin going to Paris. Yeah, we're struggling for transfers as well. Big up to Kenan, my guy. Thank you for the super chat. You're an absolute legend. Always coming in clutch with a super chat. Thank you so much. He said, which football players would want to come to Villa, sit on the bench? Yeah. It's a hard dream to sell. My biggest concern now is what you said after match week 1. We're the only club who never plays new signings. What is going on there? Still happening, right? Still happening. But surely, I'm going to say this again, surely Evan Gesson plays against Palace, right? That's why I signed him. Surely he goes in and starts as the left winger. Surely. But how convinced are we? Yes, about Duran winners through first 5 matches last year, it would have already been over. Correct. Newcastle got the bonnets that they don't have. Yeah. Correct. Duran bailed us out. Steven said, sorry, but this team is going backwards. We are weaker than last season. I'm fed up with hearing about PSR. Same. Can't be used as an excuse. Emery is making strange decisions, which is costing us games. This is what happened when he was at Arsenal. Yeah. Big up to the chat, by the way. Johnny says, I'll take a bad season over and win Europa League. Wouldn't care if we finish 17th. It gets us into the passage of where we need to be, which is Europe. Again, the question is, if we got Europa League and won it, is Unai staying in the job? Is Unai staying in the job? That's the question. That is the question. Many fans from other clubs say we're the most boring team. It's getting out like that, isn't it? Yeah, and then Cuckoo links are absolutely crazy. But yeah, a lot of you are saying it's boring. Big up to Ant as well in the chat. Look at 10-man Newcastle against the league champions, 2 down, smashing them. When do we see that from Villa? Never. Absolutely never. But yeah, I've got some other things that I want to show you. Yeah, it went from me. He thinks really good. Look, Emery's comments. Em, Emery's Emery's comments are one of those that basically has got me really alarmed. I was like this with Emery, and then I saw that interview, and it's really alarmed me. Do you reckon the squad is still on board? Maybe they're knackered. A lot of it has been played with a lot of the same players. I agree. I agree on that. But yeah, let me see some of your comments. Unai had a good run, but is that by ideas? It's time for change, but it'll be painful and drawn out before he goes. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to make that decision easily. Don't think they're going to be able to make that decision easily. And I would actually go on to say that, as you said, it would be drawn out. We went from an undersized squad to overly reliant on physicality. Now, do you know what's another alarming thing? Our bench. I'm pretty sure we're back to naming 2 goalkeepers on the bench. I'm pretty sure we were back to naming 2 goalkeepers on the bench again. How have we done that? How have we found ourselves in a position where we are naming 2 goalkeepers on the bench again? Absolutely else. I thought we were past those days. We were building good squad depth. Now it's absolutely in the bin again. It's in the bin. Like our squad depth is in the bin. I don't know how we get out of this if we're not making signings. People are saying, "Oh, Unai might walk." I don't think he will. My mate's a massive Arsenal fan. He said Emery ain't the one. He's a good underdog, but not to train and be the main man. Yeah, Arsenal fans have always said we warned you, Villa fans. We warned you, Villa fans, about Unai's third season. Holy name. Once you get to help Sevilla, and so was my blood. Yeah, that again. I was getting called out for that, saying, calm down, calm down. Everything has been stinking about this preseason. From Monchi to the weird friendlies, to our lack of business in the window, to now players chirping up. And I want to touch on the players. I've got to touch on the players in that way. I really do. He's better right now on his team initiative. Ungrateful mob. Do you not think though, PC, there has to be change? Like, do you not see Emery needs to change something? Or do you think his plan A is good enough to get us into the position we need to be, which is to qualify for Europe and win a trophy? I'm genuinely intrigued, PC, like where you see or feel Unai can change this. But yeah, everyone's hyping up. Everyone's hyping up Newcastle right now, aren't they? But yeah, they know what we're about the league yet. And again, Palace are going to have our number. Big up to Fozzy FC 77. But yeah, go. I don't know if he's got. Hate watching Villa at the moment. It's gone from. And Liverpool gone on one up there. It's gone from basically really looking forward to seeing the lads under Unai to now, but basically you see the team sheet and your heart sinks. That's how I feel. You see the team sheet and you go, oh, okay. And then you build yourself up, going, right, let's be positive here. It's going to be better than last week. I don't like McGinn right wing, but surely he might do something, or they've done something training. Rogers out wide, okay, can change that. Oh, no new signings. Oh, surely they'll get on at half time. Oh, Tillerman's not in the double pivot. Do you know the sad thing about the weekend was we needed Kamara to get injured to get Yuri back in his best position. We're nice. We're too nice of a team. We ball watch far too much and lack aggression. We don't have defenders that close down opposing players. Morgan doesn't know how to control football. Run over, says man with golden gun. I feel sorry for Rodgers, but I also feel like his head's elsewhere as well. 6-year-old just scored 100 winner for Liverpool, and we don't start 30 million signings. Crazy. Yeah, fair play to them. Trouble with some fans, if you criticise Emery, some fans just say, oh, you're so negative, you want the man to sack, you're ungrateful. We're allowed to criticise Unai, doesn't mean we want him sacked. Exactly. My point for time for change isn't quite on the manager yet. I say the word yet. My point is he needs to he needs to change and adapt something. I don't want to see the same formation with inverted fullbacks, with players out of positions, with new signings on the bench, with 70% possession and one shot on target. Let's be real. We had 2 shots on target against Brentford. We had 75, 80% possession. All for what? A shot in each half. Come on. That can't be right. Can't be right. But yeah, exactly. Mental seeing new signings all scoring for other teams, whereas I sit on the bench. Austria, Ekitike, and Brentford. But it's as unheard of. You don't sign a player to sit on the bench. Imagine if Matthias Cunha and Mbueme signed for United, and they had bloody Kobe Mino and can't even think of another United player's crap. Hoyland starting over you. You're sort of going, "Wow, have I signed for this club?" There's a defeatist tone at the moment. Still, the start of the season. Listen, I said this. I actually am worried that I'm 2 games in. I'm going. I was so excited for the season, but also I was a little bit scared and worried because maybe I was like, "Hey, I've had a bit of a moan in pre-season. I've had a moan about lack of signings. I've had a moan about Monchi. I've had a moan about this. Now the Premier League, the real football's back. Surely I'm going to be cheered up, and it's just crazy." Big up to Rio, who scored for Liverpool. Emery comes across as petty and favouritistic. It's starting to show now. Again, this says everything you need to know about the midfield creativity. It's interesting. The blind faith in John McGinn. Why not play Daniel Marlon? McGinn has 1 goal and 4 assists as a right winger. McGinn's played more times as a right winger than in the double pivot, and he's got 1 goal, 4 assists. Are we okay? Are we okay? This is like O'Neill's last season when he was at Villa. Correct. 2 goalkeepers and 2 academy players on the bench. Where's our squad depth gone? Exactly. Yeah, so this is, and big up to all the comments. I think our owners would be hugely concerned the selection that blind faith has nothing to do with regulation. It's true. It is true. The PSG match was the high watermark. Emery has lost all momentum. That was for me again. It should have been a cornerstone. It should have been a momentum swinger of right. This is the attacking, free-flowing football that we can play. We basically went fuck the Emery possession book. I don't know if that was on the players or Emery. That's the most fascinating thing, actually, Duncan. I would love to know if the players changed the impetus on the pitch or if it came from Emery. But basically, we went like this. We started going longer. We went more direct, more longer. Shoot on sight. It was brilliant. It was scintillating. It had every single one of us proud to be an Aston Villa fan, even though we bowed out. We were so proud. We felt we were robbed. We felt we should have got a chance of at least having extra time against them. And that was the game. But we also saw that season that after a Champions League game, we had a pathetic performance in the Premier League. Why? There are things that happened last season that have to concern people. I'm going to reiterate it again. Big up to the things that should be concerning people are the inconsistent halves that happened last season is started again. The lack of goals outside of Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers has to be a concern. So those are 2 things: a lack of goals and inconsistent halves. The next one, square pegs and round holes. We saw it too often. McGinn, Rogers, 2 real players who were square pegs and round holes and continuing to lose out. The whole Daniel Marlon situation stunk, fell off, and is continuing into this one. And then the third one is, if you really want to break down last season, John Duran saved our first half. Asensio and Rashford saved our second half. None of those players play for Aston Villa anymore. And when Rashford got injured, the season lost its spark. We need spark again. And the sad thing is, no Sparky signing looks like it's coming through the door. It looks like we're going to have a flat battery. So, we have to go on the players. Criticise, praise, do what you want to hear, but don't criticise people in our opinion. It's their right. I'm ranting, not aiming at anyone. Exactly. That's what this channel is about. Say what you want. Basically, say what you want in the chat. Vent your opinion. Voice your opinion. But obviously, you don't need to be personal and take someone down for their opinion. So say what you want in the chat, obviously, about the Villa. It's your space. It's your time to have a crunch talk. I think the players are sulking because we didn't get Champions League. Looks like they can't be asked. Fact. Marlon had 4 goals and 3 assists in the last 300 minutes of football last season, and then John McGinn has 1 goal, 4 assists. I agree, Bosin. It did seem like the players have lost faith in Unai, but I think that's largely down to PSR force us to. I can't see Roy. I can't do that. I've got to go to Dan Bardell's tweet. I don't know if anyone's seen Dan Bardell's tweet. I saw this and I was really, again, I rate Dan Bardell. He's done excellent across the media. I think he has a big voice at Villa, which is great, and shares some really fascinating stuff. I think this tweet, when I find it, it's gone, I think. It was on his thumbnail. Ooh. It's gone. It is there though. Maybe I'm wrong. Right, I'm gonna have to. Can't find the tweet, but I can share it on his thumbnail here. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but I'll read it for you anyway. Now, Dan Bardell said the following: part of Aston Villa's problem across the first games is that it feels like off the pitch / PSR has bled onto the pitch. Don't look set. Everything feels up in the air. Not a cohesive unit. Be glad when this transfer window is over. Do you know what? Some of that makes sense. In fact, a lot of that makes sense, Dan. And what Dan has said is probably accurate and true. And he's calling it fair and square and saying that. But what I want to know is he allowing that as an excuse? Because that's sort of what, again, Roy said, but I think that's right down to PSR forcing. Are we going to hide behind that as an excuse, or are we going to do this? And this is where I fundamentally disagree. I disagree because this team is a bunch of spineless bottle jobs and they're letting PSR ruin them. If they are letting PSR impact them that badly on the pitch, and Unai Emery, then we're a bunch of bottle jobs and we won't win the Europa League. I'm sick of Villa having this bottle job mentality and these players hiding behind excuses. Oh, we lost to Crystal Palace in the semi-final at Wembley, and Matty Cash comes out and says some of the boys haven't played at Wembley before. Or the fans need to lay off us a little bit. Or we didn't quite get up for it. Bottled it. Olympiacos Conference League, bottled it. Manchester United away at Old Trafford, bottled it. Bottled it, bottled it, bottled it. And the mentality of this team stinks if this is the case. And people might say, you're so far wrong, but that's how I see it. If these players are genuinely feeling the burden of PSR, do you know what? I think Dan is right. I think they are feeling this PSR cloud. I think they are feeling this PSR burden. But do you know what? That shouldn't be impacting them on the pitch. It shouldn't be impacting their ability to have more than 2 shots on target in a 90-minute game. And if your focus ain't there, if your effort ain't there, what are you doing at Villa? Real talk. Don't know if that's Emery, don't know if it's the players. But there's this stinking bottle job mentality. And if we're letting PSR impact us on the pitch, then get out of here. Get out of here. We are bottle jobs as well. As the manager wins the trophy, it's excuses good man finds way to score. Yeah. It's absolutely horrific for me to hear that. And do you know what? John McGinn coming out and Tyrone Mings both publicly telling fans, don't say a bad word of Jacob Ramsey. John McGinn and Tyrone Mings both publicly coming out and basically shutting down PSR. John McGinn in pre-season talking about the unfairness of PSR. It's hiding behind an excuse. So if we don't win the Europa League this season, what's going to be the reason? PSR? All the way in May? PSR. We tried to hide behind VAR, which, by the way, again, if we go to that Manchester United game, VAR did rob us, but the whole performance was crap, off-key, and not good enough. Stop hiding now. Stop hiding. This just isn't 2 games. It is all last season. Yeah, absolutely. No pace, no width. Dire to watch. Pass sideways with no penetration. I'll score a further. Yeah, usually we're the first big business in the transfer window. Like all of a sudden done first week's winner. We haven't made any, and I don't think we will either. I think Evan gets on. I don't know. After 3 seasons, we're still basically the Dean Smith 11. Emery's not a great team. Yeah, I think only 3 or 2 of his signings start. Morgan Rogers. At the weekend, Morgan Rogers, Anana, and Pau Torres started. 3 out of 11 started. But yeah. Why can't Rogers play central and Dia play where Jay used to? When we started playing more of an inside forward. Correct. Or play our new sign Evan Gesson. Mohamed said, I've got a feeling it's going to be Unai's last season. Same. On the plus side, our wage bill is looking a lot healthier, which will help us in the long term. I noticed in Junior was not on the bench against Brentford, wouldn't surprise me so shortly. He's going out on loan. But again, Krim, I don't give a crap about next season if Villa end up finishing 12th or 13th. Who cares about the longer term if the short term isn't successful? And that's my other point. Football's short-term business. You fall out in a season, you're done, you're dusted, you're left behind. Don't be left behind. Don't be left behind. It could happen. And Unai Emery is not guaranteed another 2-3 years at Villa. He's got to play and live in the now. And if he doesn't, his job is going to go. Wage bill, whatever, SCR, whatever, PSR, whatever. Yes, the health of the club is important. But if I'm Unai Emery, I'm grabbing the bonus by the bollocks and saying, can help me out here. I'm in the shit. I need some players. I need a Rashford. I need a Zenso. Help me. Break the rules. Let's take the fines. Owners, do you want Champions League football? Then back me. I know it's easier said than done, me sat in a room, empty room on a stool saying that, but give it some balls now. And I just think Unai looks passionless on the sideline as well. I think the passion and oomp's gone. There's a lot of where's the mojo? In his last 3 tenders, he's only gone 3 seasons on average. There you go. Let's put it to both us and Newcastle lost 1 and drew 1. Granted, they played better than us in both games. Are we going to beat? Yeah, there's perspective there. If we beat Palace, then that perspective is even better, isn't it? 1-1, draw 1, lost 1. If we lose to Palace, then there's even serious question. Just play players in that position, play some zip and unpredictability, and use the new bloody signs. I think that's most of the battle won. Correct. That's what the fans have a gripe about. Basically, this. Don't be Aston Villa. Play the new boys. Give us something different. Change the formation. Do something. What happened to the tactical genius of 3 at the back? Hansa Rostock vibes. What happened to Unai Emery? Tactically outclassing any other manager. He got tactically outclassed by Keith fucking Andrews. He got tactically outclassed by Keith Andrews, his second ever professional game as a manager. Keith Andrews. There'll be people who've never even heard of Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews outclassed Unai Emery by playing a low block. A low block. He knew that Unai would just pass the ball and have all this possession. He just drilled his team to sit in the super duper uber low block. Tactically had done him. For sure, most of our team are championship players, so it explains the mentality. It's a bottle job. Fire sell the entire team, start 11 to Birmingham, sign new start 11, dirt cheap from the championship, and leave on Emery. Bring back Remy Gard. Oh, big up Remy Gard. Just my opinion. Fair play. No, all I want to know is PC, like, do you believe it's going to change? That's all. In my opinion, when your satirical comment, I think you do. I think you do believe it's going to change. Now, lose to Palace and not scoring any question I'd be asking continue style of play. If we draw a blank against Palace, means I'm again didn't need to say that publicly about Ramsey, not that issue. Correct. It's unprofessional, isn't it, Duncan? Exactly how many times when Villa play and we actually need to win when it matters, we bottle it too many times. I think psychologically, when players are breaking, they start chirping out rubbish instead of introspection. The rot is truly in the dressing room. I think the team cycle's finished. And I think that's a good psychological point. We need to use the loan market. It's one option to get some bodies in. Unfortunately, we're going to have to keep our powder dry this season, and it's going to hurt us. Most of them players should be happy with PSL will be sold and better incoming. This is actually funny. This is actually true. Yeah. 50 mil for an honest stop. Don't make me wobble. Hernandez will get injured again this season, 100%. Exactly. If you finish outside of Europe, then financial will be screwed because you won't get the revenue from the competitions. You're correct just about positive momentum, fully behind Emery, but I have a person in mind if that dreaded day comes and he leaves. Ooh, I'd love to know. Would you take Spurs last season being 17th winning Europa, mate? Yeah, at this rate, at the moment, I said before ball was kicked, no, we're better than that. But actually now, fuck it. It's all about short-term success. Get me in the Champions League, get me a trophy. Yeah. No one will remember that Spurs finished 17th in 3 or 4 years' time. They'll just look back and go, oh, Spurs won the Europa League, fair play. There won't be an asterisk next to it. Oh, but finished 17th in the league. Being in Europe for 3 seasons hurt us, and we have to into UEFA rules. We didn't qualify, we could spend, not worry about it. And that's true, but that's where we want to be, right? That's where we want to be. And I know it's not Unai's fault. I know that's not the players' fault. That's the people off the pitch, but come on. Like, again, I don't hear other clubs moaning about it. I know they're not impacted as bad. We've got to find a way. 90 too high wages. Emery has planning no threat. Redmond. See, we're having a slow start. 2-0 lost 5-1 game one. End up fourth. I'm much more interested in how we're doing the last 10 games. Okay, yeah, fair. Fair. Question for you, PC. Will Emery be there for the last 10 games, in your opinion? And the team don't turn up for big games. Josh, we ain't going to win the Europa League. I've got to hold some hope as a person. But yeah. Last season, Newcastle were where we are. They had to call Jets for a season. Now they're a reap benefits. We're a year behind on the same path. PC, I like the perspective. Sorry, Josh just had to have a rant. I still love my Villa, but it's all falling apart like perfectly cooked chicken. Love a good chicken. Look, this is what my channel for me. It's just about having a place to vent, whether you agree, disagree, get things off your chest without feeling, oh, you're not allowed in this community. In this community, you can say the most positive things and you can say the most negative things, and you shouldn't get shut out. Everyone's football opinion matters to me, and I want you to have that space. So yeah, appreciate it. Talk about overreactions, pathetic fan base. I take it you're, very confident in Unai taking us to a trophy in Europe, which is fine. I think a lot of the fan base are starting to worry, but I think 97 Devi, you're confident you can do that from my perspective. So yeah, it's fair enough if that's how you feel. I appreciate it, but I think that the overreaction isn't off 2 games, and that's where I'll stand up for those who are speaking out. This isn't over 2 games. I think this is the fan base gripe over the continued picture, definitely over the last 6 to 8 months, if not longer. Yeah, that's true. Mings, McGinn, and a few others got Dean Smith, Gerald Saps, dropped Mings. They're doing the same with Emery. Ooh, wow, interesting. But yeah, Emery's staying blindly loyal to John McGinn, by the way, by playing him right wing. If John McGinn wasn't our captain, he doesn't start. I said that to Luke from Up the Villa, and he agreed. I think that if John McGinn wasn't our captain, he doesn't start. John McGinn could hurt Unai Emery. John McGinn could be the reason why Unai Emery may be in trouble. I'm not even joking. Right, people, I am going to wrap up. I am, as I said, moving house. The boxes, the last final boxes are there. And then, yeah, I've got some news as well to follow, which I will break with you tomorrow. Some more news. But yeah, we are moving house. We're all set to go. And I need to get back to it. We've been doing all sorts today, changing light bulbs, rewiring, tip runs, storage lockers, scrubbing, cleaning, loading the cars, all that. Definitely takes your mind off the Villa, but I'm here. And that's why I thought Heidi, big up to her. She let me do this stream tonight. I was like, look, I still feel like I need help. So no, go do it. So look, I'm very happy that I was able to come on here, do my crunch talk. But stay tuned, stay posted. Things are coming thick and fast. As I said, if you don't like what you see, fair enough. If you do, make sure you smash the like, subscribe. Your comments are always appreciated, people. Palace. I don't want to say it, 3rd game in, but not must win, but must score. Must score, must get points. So there we go. People, keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, I'm out of it. Enjoy your night, rest of your night, your day, your afternoon, your morning, wherever you're watching this in the world. Shout out again to Ken M. We'll be back for more content in the next few weeks. Big up to you guys. Thank you. Up the Villa, stay positive where you can, and let's see what the signings come in. But Palace, all eyes on Palace. Bloody hell, is it really going to come that quickly? I'm out of here, people. Thanks for tuning in. Up the Villa. Ta-da.